This is why you'll stay skinny forever. Okay. So if you don't already know me, my name is Shay, and I help Muslims or gamers and anime fans make the first pound of muscle that they'll ever want, and then the last pound of muscle that they'll ever want so that they can stay jacked for life. Okay. Now, first of all, I appreciate you for clicking on this video instead of any other dopaminergic garbage on the internet, because this tells me that you're actually trying to improve yourself and be better. So good work. Um, but yeah, if I've earned your trust throughout this video, I want you to go click the link in the description. Don't worry, I'm not selling you anything. It's just a free group full of people who are on self-improvement or who are trying to get a better physique and fitness specifically, who are also Muslim gamers, anime fans, right? Because I know it gets very, very lonely on this journey. So if you want someone or want to be part of a community, I would highly recommend joining it completely free, no strings attached. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the video, right? So the reason you'll always stay skinny, and this is something I had to realize and I really had to actually ingrain in my mind because it was difficult, was that you're busy listening to people who don't have the kind of physique goal or don't know how to get there at all. Like at all. And I'm not talking about anybody random, okay? Anybody off the street, any of the, that girl you met one time, or that guy you talked to at the party one time, or someone you talked, as a colleague in school or whatnot. I'm talking about your friends. I'm talking about your siblings. I'm talking about your family members. I'm talking about your relatives. I'm talking about it all, okay? Because let's be honest, your relatives and family members and all these people will talk about, oh, get fit, or oh, lose weight, or oh, you need to eat more, your skin and bones. But even though they're right, they have just a little bit less credibility just because of the way they themselves present themselves and how they look, right? You don't want to end up like that. So why are you taking your advice from them? It's like this, right? I want you to think about it like this. Every time you're gaming, right? Do you take advice from someone who is throwing your game? Do you message him after the game going, "Hey bro, how do I play the game better?" And he is 0 and 9? Is that what you do? You don't, right? Simple. Why? Because he's not playing the game at a high enough level. Like it's evident. And he's actually actively throwing your team instead. So why is he someone worth listening to begin with, right? So stop listening to these people. Okay? And I'll tell you the respectful way to do that. I just want all I want you to do anytime someone tells you, "Oh, bro, you need to gain weight, and this is how you need to do it," or "Oh, bro, this is how you do." If you look at them and you know what they look like, and you don't want to look like that, stop trying to take their advice because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay? I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's your grandmother. I don't care who it is. You can do this respectfully. Okay? So the way you do it is you listen through one ear and let it go out the other ear. Okay? And now I'm not saying they aren't competent in other areas that you shouldn't listen to. Okay, you should listen to them if they're competent in other areas that you want to be like them in. Okay? But if they do not have the physique that you want, if they don't know how to gain weight, if they're fat and you're still listening to them, there's no reason to follow their advice. It's that simple. So stop. They're literally throwing your bloodline. I want you to envision this, right? I want you to close your eyes and envision. Imagine you're at your wedding day and you can't, you have skinny arms and you can't hold up your nasib, your wife. You can't pick her up. You can't sweep her into your arms. For a lot of you that sounds cringe, but for a lot of us that want to actually, live, happily with our partners, you know that this is something that's required. There's a level of play that happens, right? So if you think that's cringe, you can go ahead and click off the video already. But if you don't, and that's something you actually want, like a loving, fulfilling partner, um, along with being able to, just do fun stuff like throw them around, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you can't do that because you're not strong enough, because you haven't built the physique yet, because you keep insisting on taking advice from people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, who also have broken relationships. Now, I'm not saying that, getting a jacked physique is going to solve your relationship problems, but it does make it better. And I'll give you an analogy and I'll compare it in a way that makes sense. People always talk about, oh, that guy will have a better chance with your wife, or this girl would have a better chance with your husband. But I want you to think about it like this. Who do you think your wife or your husband would marry? Specifically your wife, right? Who do you think she would marry? Would she marry the version of you, that exact same personality, exact same everything, that is jacked, compared to the one who isn't? How have you been deluded into thinking this does not matter? I don't understand. People say, oh, it's vanity, it's vanity. Bro, no, it's not. It's also dealing with your health. Like, I don't understand. And even if it is, okay, cool. I want to look good. And doesn't make sense to me, right? So so long story short, like, stop taking your advice from these people and take your advice from someone who's actually gained the weight. I went from 120 all the way to 180 pounds. And if you don't believe me for whatever reason, you'll look through some of my previous videos and you'll see transformation photos as one of the thumbnails. Or if you really, really don't believe me, okay, sick. My Instagram is linked. You can go and check my journey tab and literally see every single pretty much month of my progress since the last 4 or 5 years of lifting. Okay, and get rid of those beliefs as well. Oh, it's gonna stunt your growth. Oh, you're gonna get too fat. No, you won't. If you do it right, you'll be perfectly fine. And to some degree, I can't blame you because you've always had these people in your life, and you haven't known anything else. So this is something that we learned, in psychology and CLDP, is that these are beliefs that you have ingrained to you, literally starting out, literally since you were born. They're ingrained into you. So of course you wouldn't believe anything else. Of course you'd want to believe that because of genetics, you're somehow the exception to the laws of thermodynamics in terms of gaining muscle or losing weight. Of course you'd believe that. Do these things play a factor? Of course they do, 100%. I'm not denying that. But are they used as an excuse more often than they should be? Yes, that's also the case. So stop trying to take these people's advice, bro. Stop. Like I said, do it in a respectful way. Let it go in through one ear and out the other. That way you don't feel like you have to burn some sort of bridge, because in Islam, at the end of the day, you still have to be respectful to your parents, right? And that's something I didn't catch on to. That's a mistake I made as well. But the truth is, like, sometimes we think that the older someone is, the more experience that they have, 100%. But they don't necessarily have more experience in the domain in which you're trying to go to, which is going to be lifting for a lot of you. Okay. um Especially brown parents, bro. They have no idea what they're talking about. And you know what's crazy is they'll stay stubborn in their beliefs even to this day. Okay, I'm gonna call my family out here, but your family is probably the same way. It's that what they'll do is, even though they see you making progress, even though they see you doing good and you want to help, they'll still be stubborn enough to think that I still need to be on the treadmill every day to lose fat and not worry about my diet. Like, you have someone in front of you who's done it. Why don't you ask them? But you're still stubborn enough to think that you can just do this on your own, or you know enough, or you should know enough, which is why you're like, oh my god, I should know enough, so like I should be doing this on my own, when in reality you can get help from someone who's actually done it and has done it successfully, and take tips and strategies from them. Because again, I'll tell you, the advice that they give you, it gets so ingrained and it's so almost victim like that you'll never even begin to start making the strategies to not be skinny, which is why you'll always stay skinny, believing this bullshit. So again, yeah, and if you want to be able to be strong enough, again, right, for your nasib and things like that. And for those of you who are saying, oh, lifting means you don't get compliments from chicks and stuff like that, that is completely false. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm more Muslim than I used to be, right? So I don't be going out and talking to women like I used to be. But when I did, and even to this day still, The things that I get the most complimented on are two things: my hair and how fit I've gotten. And these are people that know me from back from high school as well. So they know how I looked back in high school and they have something to compare to, which is how I am now. I mean, I literally see no downside. Your health gets better, you become bigger and stronger, and you also have that masculine dynamic of you're bigger than your woman. And to a lot of you, you can't say that out loud because it sounds cringe, but it is attractive. You just don't say it. It is attractive. You find that attractive, and that's perfectly fine to find that attractive. Because some weird people, what they do is like make that into, oh, that means you're into like children or some weird shit like that. And it's so weird, bro, how people just like do that shit. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you, it's just so weird. Like, you know exactly what I mean when I'm like, oh, when you're bigger and you feel more masculine, right? It's almost like that. I don't want to say, it's almost like the perfect dynamic. Like you like that a lot. You know what I mean? And the right people, the right masculine men will take this the right way. Okay? So you understand what I'm talking about. But again, those are the things when you get stronger, when you get bigger and you get rid of these beliefs that you have that tell you, "Oh no, I can't do it. Oh no, because it's because of my ethnicity." There's plenty of people in your ethnicity. You see brown guys every single time. Bro, the amount of brown guys I see that look like me on Instagram or just everyday normal brown guys and they're jacked. They're jacked. And you might say, "Oh, it's genetics, bro." If that's one thing, if there's one thing, it's like you should look at a guy and be like, he has, he's ethnically similar. Of course, I won't perfectly look like him. Of course, I can't look like an IFBB pro, but at least I can get fit. At least I have the possibility of seeing my abs. At least, something, bro, something better than what you were. At least you are stronger now. Like I said, at least you're stronger. You're bigger. You have that dynamic, that masculine dynamic over your woman, as well as being able to sweep her off her feet, you know, and being able to do stuff like that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do if you were skinny. So again, if you're actually looking to eliminate a lot of these limiting beliefs that you have and you feel like this is giving you some motivation or belief or some power, again, join that group because it's not going to stay there forever. This is going to be something that's fleeting. You're going to get that motivational spike and you're going to be like, yeah, yeah, he's right, but then you're just going to give up. So join the group below, okay? um Along with subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about like you know getting jacked and whatnot, and specifically gaining weight and getting bigger and getting some size on you, because I remember how it feels. i remember I remember how shitty it made me feel, or like how invisible I was when I didn't have that. And it just gives you a certain level of confidence, again, to be you. Because imagine if you're in a, if you already have low self confidence in terms of what your physique looks like, and on top of that, you play games or you watch anime, you know, dude, and you're a Muslim, you're fitting the stereotype that they want you to fit in, bro. Which is like you're that nerd that puts on glasses and plays their game and doesn't know anything better but to do, uh, their homework and then get bullied. Like that, you're fitting that stereotype. So that should piss you off. That shit pissed me off. That's why I got into the gym. And now I walk around with a certain level of confidence because I know I'm big and that most people, if you got into some sort of physical confrontation, that the other person that's looking at you, it doesn't mean that I'm not saying being jacked means you get fighting skills. You don't. You also have to train MMA. Okay, so that's like an exception. I have also been trying to train MMA, not the best at it, but I know the basics, right? And so that also gives you the confidence to be like, I know that if we got into a confrontation, I might, like, there's a possibility I might not win, but at the same time, I know that this guy would not come out of here looking good. Okay, he would get put on the he would definitely get put in the hospital along with me. Like that's all I'm saying. So you avoid that entirely, you know? So that's also a plus side of it, you know? And imagine just not fitting the stereotype and just being a jacked geek. Like how much better would that be? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much all I got though, yeah. But check out the group again because it'd be really nice if we can get that group filled in completely free. You know, you'll get accountability partners and stuff. We also have anime watch parties and gaming and stuff like that. So you don't have to really give up on your gaming and stuff on fitness because I know I didn't. So yeah, join up, check it out, and let me know what y'all think. And that's all I got for you, okay? Peace. Take it easy.